For years, gardeners have been told that starting a new bed means hours of hard digging, pulling stubborn weeds, and fighting compacted soil. It's backbreaking, it disturbs the natural life of the soil, and honestly, many times the results are just disappointing. But there's a way to skip all of that, to silence the weeds, and to let your soil rebuild itself while you sit back and save your energy. The tool is as simple as it gets: plain brown cardboard. Once you understand how it works, you may never pick up a shovel again. Cardboard suffocates weeds and feeds the soil at the same time. The genius of cardboard lies in its structure. Thick enough to block sunlight, it prevents weeds and grasses from breaking through, yet porous enough to let air and water pass through into the soil. As it decomposes, it turns into organic matter that feeds worms and microbes. Unlike plastic sheets or weed barriers, cardboard doesn't leave waste behind. Instead, it becomes part of the living soil system. Within just a few days of laying damp cardboard on the ground, worms will find it. They start chewing through the softened fibers and pull them deeper into the soil, leaving behind castings that enrich your garden with natural fertility. Microbes, multiply rapidly under that cool, shaded surface. And since the weeds underneath are starved of light, they quietly die back. No chemicals or digging needed. Not every box will work, honestly. You need plain brown cardboard, free from any wax coatings, glossy print, or heavy dyes. Shipping cartons, moving boxes, or even grocery store packaging are just perfect for this. Before you lay them out, make sure to strip away all the tape, labels, and staples. These things just don't break down and will only create a mess in your soil later on. Larger sheets are definitely easier to work with, but smaller pieces can also be used as long as they overlap properly. The goal here is to create a seamless blanket that leaves no gaps for weeds to sneak through. Each piece should overlap the next by at least 15 centimeters, which is about 6 inches. This simple step really helps prevent tough grasses from finding weak spots and pushing through. Dry cardboard can take months to break down, and it might even curl or blow away if left unchecked. To really get it to settle against the soil and start decomposing quickly, it needs to be soaked. A good rule of thumb is about 1 gallon of water for every 2 square feet of cardboard. So if you're covering a standard 4x8 foot bed, that comes out to roughly 16 gallons of water. Once the cardboard is wet, it becomes pliable, hugs the ground tightly, and creates the perfect environment for worms and microbes to get to work. Now, it's important to remember that cardboard by itself won't grow plants. It's really just the foundation, not the final bed. On top, you need to add a growing medium. Gardeners usually take one of two approaches here. The slow method builds soil over time by layering organic matter, like grass clippings, leaves, manure, or compost, right on top of the damp cardboard and letting it sit for a season. By spring, the cardboard will be gone, the weeds smothered, and the soil beneath transformed into a loose, rich planting zone. But hey, if you're itching to plant immediately, there's a faster way to go about it. You can spread 8 to 10 centimeters, or about 3 to 4 inches, of enriched soil mixed directly on top of the soaked cardboard. A blend of compost, topsoil, and sand works really well. You can plant directly into this new layer. The roots of your vegetables will anchor into the soil above the cardboard, and within weeks, as the cardboard softens, roots and worms will penetrate deeper into the revitalized soil below. The first benefit you'll notice is moisture retention. The cardboard acts like a barrier that prevents evaporation, so the soil above stays damp for longer. During dry spells, this means less watering. Soon after, the weeds stop appearing because the light-blocking layer doesn't give them a chance. By the second or third week, worms will be actively working in the bed, leaving castings that fertilize the soil naturally. If you pull back a section of mulch or cardboard, you may even see fungal threads forming. This is exactly what you want. Fungi are the builders of long-term soil fertility. Digging disrupts the soil food web. It breaks up worm tunnels, destroys fungal networks, and exposes microbes to air and sun where they die off. It also compacts soil further below the shovel line. Cardboard layering avoids all of that. Instead of fighting the ground, you let natural processes restructure it. Over time, as the cardboard disappears and the organic matter above continues to decompose, the soil becomes looser, richer, and honestly just easier to plant in each season. Gardeners who use this method often report that their beds grow healthier crops with fewer weeds and, well, require far less effort. Once everything is established, all that's really needed is a fresh top-up of mulch or soil each season. The soil actually grows better with age instead of wearing out, which is the opposite of what usually happens when beds are dug and fertilized heavily. In a raised bed, simply lay cardboard flat, soak it thoroughly and add your soil mix on top before planting. Around fruit trees, create a wide ring of cardboard under the canopy, overlap it well, water deeply, and then mulch with wood chips or leaves. The cardboard suppresses weeds that compete with tree roots, while the mulch adds fertility over time. Even lawn-to-garden conversions can be done this way. Instead of stripping sod, just cover the grass with cardboard, water, add soil or compost, and begin planting. Within a season, the grass below dies, the cardboard vanishes, and the garden thrives. A plain sheet of cardboard can save you hours of digging, reduce weeds, conserve water, and build living soil that only improves with time. It is free, simple to use, and astonishingly effective. Once you try it, you'll understand why so many gardeners never go back to the old way. If you found this guide helpful and want more proven methods for reviving soil and simplifying your gardening, subscribe to Hydro Haven and share this with a fellow gardener. Together, we can spread these smarter ways of growing and build healthier gardens with less effort.